my mic on? I think it's on. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. All right. Today we may probably not have sideburns. He said he would just be listening. He mentioned in the chat. But I'm doing some gouache stuff today. I got a couple of gouache cards pulled out. I've been trying to improve my color sense, so I've gotten into painting, but I don't do it too much because I'm not great at it, just as you might know. I used to do a lot of watercolor painting. I kind of understand the basics of what I'm supposed to be doing, which is, you start out with a kind of a light transparent wash, and then you put on these sort of successively more opaque layers, and you're working in layers, and you've got to have, so that's too transparent. I think I kind of screwed up here. My problem is I have a hard time mixing the paint and keeping it opaque enough. You got to make it a little bit thicker for it to work out good. Let me turn on some music here, because why not? And if you can call it music, I actually did this myself. And I also had an idea that I was going to do some, I like to do a lot of stuff at once. Maybe some oil pastel as well. I have soft pastels I could even kind of mess with. There's a technique I'm really interested in trying out, which is where you take your soft pastels and you paint over them with alcohol, and it kind of turns them into like a watercolor almost. I should probably get to my foreground figure here. My dinosaur. My dinosaurian. I want him to be kind of this jade color, but with a lot of blue in it. Kind of close to what I've already made the, maybe I should make more green in there. I have more green. Just to make them stand out a little bit. And I've done okay in the past by kind of working from tutorials. We've seen some of my sketchbook walkthroughs where I showed some of the gouache. A lot of times I'm working from a tutorial and you go, oh, I noticed that tutorial. That's the one that just says gouache tutorial on YouTube. This guy's completely transparent. I am. It's true. Here I am. I'm working in a much more... See, that's how it should be. It should be nice and opaque at this point. You can still see my pencil lines, which are unfortunate. I'm on page 16 of Princess of Apshai. If you know about how I do my comics, that means I'm probably near the end, because I usually end the comic at around page 16. And in this case, I'm going for I think I'm going for 19 pages. Brillig was 33 pages. I don't go for these long epics. I don't do like a 200-page comic or anything like that. Although I will do chapters, Something that I do like to do. I'm hoping to make this thick enough that you can't see my brush marks in it, because my brush marks are terrible. Is the music too loud? Hold up. This isn't what we planned. There we go. And we can... I think if I click this, it loops them. Let's do another song right here. That was getting a little too intense for me. And I've gotten a little darker here, so it's on purpose to get that back leg. Everything else is kind of foregrounded up. Now the dark colors are going to turn lighter, and the light colors are going to turn darker. That's the nature of gouache. Everybody tells you that. I always forget. The most inopportune moment. All right, we have a good start. People are going to look at this thing. What is he, like a 3-year-old? What is this art? Now we're going to do like a foreground. Now here's my problem with the foreground. It's got to be super opaque to cover up all the stuff that's already out there. Maybe we can do like a tree branch coming out here. I'm obviously doing this with a lot of cool colors. Not cool as in the fawns, but cool as in towards the blue and green spectrum on the color wheel. But when I worked through a bunch of tutorials on this, the first ones I did, they actually didn't have me change any colors whatsoever. Almost everything was done in like this jade color. And it worked out pretty good. I think, eventually you start adding a little bit of yellow to get, a little bit brighter green and a little bit of white. But yeah. You don't have to go too wild with your color palettes. In fact, you should go as little wild as possible, at least at first, until you got to figure out what you're doing and have a plan. So these are all analogous colors, analogous in that they're all kind of in the blue-green spectrum, blue-green purple. I feel like I have to wait for it to dry, but is it dry already? I'm looking at it. What I should do is let's add some blue. Let's add some white. Let's see what we get. Oh, I actually kind of like this. It's kind of a slate green color. I think I used to have a dinosaur, like a plastic dinosaur model that was this color. I remember when I was like a little kid, my mom somehow convinced the people at the summer rec center to let me into a painting class, even though I wasn't really old enough for it. And it was like oil painting. She gave me all of her, like her old, like, she had like an oil painting box with a set of paints in it and stuff. And I remember adding white to purple and coming up with this lavender color. And I painted this sort of Martian landscape, but everything was purple. And I'm sure it was dreadful, right? I'm sure it was just like horrible to look at, but I was really proud of it. As you might be. I think I added this. Oh, white. Anyway. So today, oh, now we're, see, I went a little too white. So I get a little bit darker. This is how you can tell I'm a noob with the paints. It doesn't color match. I don't color match very well. Just for fun, because I'm a noob. Let's make the dinosaur like at the edge of some water. It almost looks like he's at the edge of like a watery bank or something like that. So maybe I can, well, it's got to be shadow underneath them, right? What color do I make it? Do I leave it like it is? How about we just add more white to it? Like make it mostly white? And then maybe just a little bit of It's hard to get good at this stuff, huh? It's hard to be a saint in the city. If I was a better painter, and I'm not, I would try an attempt. Maybe I should. Maybe I should try it. Let's attempt reflection. Let's let it dry first. Let it dry. And let's do some more stuff in here. We got some light coming in, which is pretty good. What should we do for the foliage? Like the leaves are all dead here, so we got to put some leaves in. I was thinking I might just use just some of this this pinkish purple color. I just reconstituted, like I boil some water and then I kind of spray some in, and these gel paints they are trouble. All like the really good gouache painters, like they some of them will actually have the same Hemi set, but they'll say this isn't my favorite set. That they use real gouache, but they're like, this is the one that people want to see because it's basically it's noobs like me that are on YouTube looking for tutorials. And she's right. Okay, hang on. All right, let's say this is going to be our foliage color, or our baseline foliage. Should we add something to that? Well, let's just go in. Let's just go hard. Let's go right in with the pinkish purple. The Hemi is a Chinese set, so it's when they tell you what a color is, it's like their version of the color. So this is actually, it just says purple on the Hemi set. That doesn't feel purple to me, or plain purple. That's purple. This is pink or something. Cherry blossom, what do I call it? I can call it all kinds of different things. So this is just going to be our first layer of foliage. We're going to add white and kind of do a light layer as well. And I'm trying to take care to leave lots of space in between. It's not exactly white behind there. It's it's because I did like a greenish wash. but we want some of the light to peek through. We don't want to just like, because we could just crush it out with like just a large purple blob of leaves, or what am I calling it purple now? Pink cherry blossom. It's a cool purple. That's what we might call that. All right, I'm about ready to go in and try and do this reflection of the dinosaur in the pool. I want to make sure that the pool is dry. I think it's dry. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Ooh. People are going to look at this and think it's a little bit idiotic. That's okay. Okay. Now I have this other color. I don't know if you can see it. This color right here. Oh, I'm looking at it and it's totally different on screen, on video. I'm wondering. Yeah, looks like I can do some other. I'll also do like a some white. I didn't get enough sleep last night, so I went upstairs and fell asleep for about 2 hours today after I'd already been up. Sometimes it's kind of good because it's like you get an whole extra day. You get up and you do a bunch of stuff and you accomplish a couple of things, and I did actually. I worked on my comic and did a bunch of other stuff. Then I fell asleep and I woke up again, and it's like, oh, you got a whole nother day to do stuff. A lot of this is just fooling yourself. You know what I mean? Like I've tricked myself into believing I've accomplished something. All right, we're gonna get some white. I'm gonna start with a white pink, and then I'm gonna go with that pure white. Okay, so when we use the white, we got to be thinking about light. So I think of the light kind of coming down. So we're gonna put the white kind of on the tops. I'm not real good at this stuff yet, but I'm at least trying to think about it. And I think the noob tendency, which is me, I'm a noob, is to sort of overdo it, and it never looks good. So if I try and like restrain myself a little bit, like that might be a good thing. Restrain yourself, for gosh sake. I'm looking at the video playback of this, and like my color is so way off. Like, it doesn't look anything like this. Or at least the color-wise. I mean, obviously, the painting looks like it does. All right, now I've got more white left on the brush, but it's thinning out. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on in a couple of places because it's going to be so transparent. All right, let's get rid of it now. I'm going to let it dry, and then we're going to put pure white, which will be even brighter than the pink. All right. And my dinosaur is dry, so I could probably do like kind of a highlight layer. How would we do a highlight on this dinosaur? I've got the green still on the palette. So like maybe there's white on the top and on the top of his tail. And down its back. I'm not sure if that was a great idea. Let's do like a little stippling, see if that works. Comes off looking a little harsh, but I think if I just push it off a little bit, I mean, it is kind of transparent still, so. Well, it's not great, but I'm not running into my usual problems. Which is where the paint's just starting to come off of it. Give me some more white. Some more of this bright green. think that's a problem. I was going with white as a lightener instead of a green, like a more yellow to the green kind of a thing. As he adds more white. It's kind of a pea green. That's really silly. I don't know. All right, we have this. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of white here, and then that'll be it for this particular cartoon. This is let me see if I can get this brush to a point. Like a little bit of white. This is almost sketch card size. It's just a little bit over, so it really would be a good sketch card, but it's like so close. That was too big. Oops. All right, the funnest part of any drawing where you put the tape down is taking the tape off. Let's take our tape off. And we'll get on to drawing number 2. All right, we like it so far. Oops. I just dropped the tape. Nice. Yeah. This is the funnest thing about painting, is taking the stupid tape off. Like, oh, your painting sucks, but I mean, look at the edges, though. All right, we'll put this. This will go in the sketchbook. Where's my sketchbook? It's around here somewhere. What'd I do with it? Oh, that's the other palette. Oh, I think it's within arm's reach. I'm looking around for it. Let's do another one. All right, for this one, I kind of drew a little pencil sketch already of a fish. I don't know, you can probably barely see it on there. Here's my tapes. For this, though, I want to do something a little slightly different. Well, no, I'm good. Yeah, I can still do it. Okay. I happen to have, because gouache is opaque, right? And I can just like put a background on and then just paint right over it. I have this bubbly template I was going to do as a background. So I'll do like and the fish will be orange, so I'll do like kind of blue and then like maybe like a white or a aqua color for the bubbles. Thank you very much. EJB says it's fun. It's a fun little dino. Yes. Thank you. It's going in the sketchbook. I feel like I have to, you kind of start a little bit childish when you're trying to learn something. So I don't know what you drew when you were a little kid. I drew dinosaurs and stuff like that. All right. My tapes. My green washi tape. All right, so now, just because of the way this stuff works, let me get a moppier brush. This one or this will do it. Let's do like a light blue. So from what I've learned about gouache, your first layer has to be pretty watery, or it should be the most watery that you're going to get. And then they get successively thicker and more opaque as you start putting layers on. All right, so that's a nice bright blue. Look at that. But here's the conundrum. We can't touch it until it gets dry. So we're gonna do something else while this dries. So hang on just a moment. That has a contingency plan. And it involves me putting my gouaches aside for a second while this dries. I have even more stuff while it dries. I should have kind of edged him over a bit, All right. I like it to be a little bit irregular just because like the paint, just because the natural irregularity of it is cool. So for this one, we're going to do an oil pastel of, I don't know. Oil pastels go pretty quick for me, so should not take that long. And by the time we're done, this should be all dry. It's almost there already. All right. I appreciate everybody watching. I know I'm not the most entertaining. But my idea was, I wanted to create like an art show that I would want to watch, which is just the people doing the art. I always kind of enjoy that. Although I do watch, I quite like DD Show, where there's a lot of interaction with people that are on there. All right, so we got this, right? And I've got my oils, pastels. And I had this idea about doing a jellyfish. So I gotta find a picture of a jellyfish real quick. We're gonna take the first jellyfish that appears. I actually had like a Pinterest, not a Pinterest. It was like an Instagram page up that somebody had, and they had pictures like they'd taken in an aquarium. In this case, we're gonna go for Pinterest. And reference photo up. All right, I like this one, although this will never be We're not going to do a very good job of this, let's just say. All right, hold on. Present, share screen. Like, how do we do that? Whoops. Share the screen again. That's too small. Is there a way to, like... I guess... Oh, there we go. Something like that. So I'm looking at the opacity of it. In oil pastels, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure what the opacity is. But you've got this sort of glowing light in the middle of the jellyfish that I would probably want to use as much of the natural light of the paper, but I also kind of want to go around it. So got a couple options. All right, so let's try this. Let's say that our jellyfish looks like this. And it's going to have like all these kind of tentacle things, but then it also has like this big jelly tail. Pepperoni, says Dintu. Dintu too. Why do you say pepperoni? I guess it could be pepperoni. And then it has kind of a mushroom like around the edge. Sort of like that, maybe. All right. So if we were going to work from the background to the foreground, my darkest color might be this purple and a dark blue. I got this kind of dark blue. And let's just throw them in there and find out what happens. Okie doke. Oh, wait. Okay. Secret weapon number 1 is Gamsol. So Gamsol is a thinner, odorless mineral spirits. Works great with colored pencils, by the way. That's what I really use it for. Now, if I could just get through the cap. And you get this automatic, like, really... Of course, this is your brush size. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but you get a like nice blue and purple kind of interacting and looking good. All right, I'm gonna save my pastels to the side just in case, because if I forget which colors I'm using, I feel like I kind of screw myself over. You can also use a paintbrush, which I don't really like these. That's really dark. How about a blue? And then like a light green. Yeah, there's a lot of green in it, like right here. And let's try working from a little bit of Gamsol anyways. I want to preserve the white, of the paper in there. I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing like a lot of lavender. So where's look at this periwinkle here. Like it's got kind of a periwinkle core almost. All right, let's give it another dose. Is it dry yet? It's almost dry. All right. Okay. All right, now how do we bring back that blazing white in the middle? I don't know. I'm going to try and use the white oil pastel. I'm not 100% sure that'll work at all. All right, let's hang on to that for a moment. I could do it with a white gel pen or something like that. That's another possibility. Just to get those thin lines or something. My other possibility is I can chop some or scribble some white oil pastel onto the palette and then mix it with Gamsol and then paint it on. It's like oil paint at that point. You can have really fine control, although I don't like to do that. I mean, I am kind of cheating already. And where did my lavender go? I had some lavender in this. Periwinkle or something, Where's my periwinkle? Here it is. All right. It turns out there is some opacity in the oil pastels. I didn't think there was. Let's do like a, take the white back out. How about this light blue? And we'll just do like a light. Something like that. I don't know. What do you guys do on the weekend? I go to work and people ask me that. What'd you do this weekend? Did you watch the game? I never watched the game. I don't know what the game is. All right. It's a bit abstract, but I think we got the colors right. So let's go ahead and pull the tape off of this one. Oil pastel is really all about the color. It isn't about the accuracy. At least the way I do it. Oh, no. I lost a little bit. It ripped up a little bit. It'll still go in. It'll still go in the sketchbook, even with it's a little rip. If I do this, stick it back down. People say that's not a very good picture of a jellyfish, but look at the edges, you know. All right, let's throw that over here by my dinosaur. So we got our two so far. All right. Fast food recordings. Let's go for this guy now. All right, we're gonna put away our purples. Okay, now how are we gonna attack this fish? Well, first thing I want to do is I want to use this stencil. And I'm thinking it might be like a green. I might even do the fish as green or orange. I just gotta find my stencil brush. I know I got one around here somewhere. Like I just had it moments ago. Well, I can't find my regular stencil brush. It's probably on the other side of the table over there. But I have another stencil brush. All right, first of all, let me get rid of this picture. Hang on. And I've kind of got the dinosaur color already kind of mixed. I've got this other dinosaur color that I used already kind of mixed. So those are huge possibilities. They just need more water in them. And not a whole lot of water either. So let's do this one. My other option is gel crayons. So that'll work right there. This is a pretty good color. It's an undecipherable. Let's put a little purple on it. Kind of aquatic color, right? Oh, you know what this is going to do? This is going to start pulling up. You know, I don't think I did this right, but I'm committed. I think it's going to pull up the blue because it's a little too wet. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. On this sort of base layer, it doesn't really matter that much because, oh shit. No, we got spots. All right, fine. Fine. You know, because there's layers and layers that are going to go on top of it too. And presumably our fish is going to be very opaque because gouache can do 100% opaque if we do it correctly. Now I was going to do like a goldfish because I have this gold color already. I did a couple of weeks ago. It's already set and I could add more to it. Or I could use this gold color. Which I know in the light it doesn't look gold, but nope. You can't really tell. This is brilliant orange, but for some reason on camera it looks kind of washed out to me. All right. Now if I run into the same problem I did with the first layer, is it's still wet. I think it might be a little bit wet for this. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do it anyways. I'm painting directly from the thing because the thicker you go, the better. But this is going to be a problem, I think. Or will it? Fast-paced and exciting world of gouache. Okay. Oh, it's already feeling a bit transparent, which is going a bit greenish on the orange, which I'm not really happy with, but if you do a second coat, it'll probably be okay. All right. And while this coat dries, I'll show you what's been going on in my sketchbook lately. And we'll tape down those other two paintings. Let's see how it goes. I just want to take the brush marks out, you know? If I could get that good, I'd be so happy. Like, ah, now I'm a painter. I don't leave brush marks on my gouache paintings. Well, I got a silhouette. Okay, we're gonna let that dry a little bit. Let me go find my sketchbook. I'll let this dry, and I'm gonna change my water out too. Okay, be right back. This is dirty. Okay. Hang about. Ah, there it is. Oof. Pepperoni, pineapple pizza, says Din too. Din too, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I don't mind. I think it's fine. We're gonna play another song. All right, so while this is still drying, I try not to put anything in it while it's wet. That's where I dropped that yellow paint. I've got this is my sketchbook. Let me pop this up a little bit so you can see it. This is the current sketchbook. So lately, I haven't been as involved with. Oh, I did drop a little bit of yellow on there. Lately, I've been doing these pop-ups. So I'll show you what I did. So the first one, and by the way, this is a flat. It's flat sketch. It's flattish. Flattish. But like pop-ups in it are flat. But this is there's a dragon that comes out. And you can see he's like popped up. It's a dragon flying in space. Very cartoony, but I'm still figuring out the mechanics of this stuff. So this one is a salamander that comes out. It's like these little salamander guys. Mamma mia. I had Italian food tonight. This one is where I figured out how to do like some of the like articulation and action. It's a cicada bug. I really like these cicada bugs. I've my my stupid shopping cart on online retailer website has a plastic cicada. I haven't bought it, but I just keep it in the shopping cart. I'm thinking about getting it. So this one opens this way. This one is where I figured out like This is called a twisting mechanism, and it kind of twists and folds open like that. And I've done better twisting mechanisms, like better engineered ones, but I haven't gotten the size right. And then this is just the last one in here. It's just another cicada. He's pretty good because he was all cut out of pieces, and you can see this is a better engineered one than the dragon I did before. And it's just this is a gel printed paper that I made. And then I just did some cartoony face. I did these last night while I was watching a movie. Are we close to being dry yet? We're close. We're getting close. I think that's it. That's a gel pen. Colored gel pen. Oh, I want to tape these down. So I'm going to add these to my... let's add them to the experience here. So can we fit both? That's the first question. And I think the answer is no. So let's do this one first. I know I got some like wash it and stuff away. There it is. Glue stick. Glue stick. Remember this stuff from school? Well, this stuff is not very good. It's not even over. There it is. Oh, shit. All right. Let's look like that. And then for this one, you think I could fit two? I don't think I could. I'd maybe fit one, and then this one is a small one, but I think I can only fit the one. All right. This one, he is not wanting to stick flat, so we're going to put something on top. I like the twisting one. Yeah, that's cool. I did a broken one. Like the twisting mechanism, it's I did it correctly, and then I made the figure on top. I did this snowy owl that comes out, and it's too tall. It won't fit in this sketchbook at all. This is, I mean, it's a little tiny sketchbook too, but I want it to where it opens up and this snowy owl would come out. And I did it, but it's like out here, so it comes, so when it's closed, it's like out here, and then you open it up and it comes up, but live and learn. So learning pop-ups, I'll tell you, I also got, and I just bought this, I got some of this craft paper. It's like scrapbooking paper. And there's all kinds. Like this one's more of a like a gel printed texture, and this one is like some patterns. They have all kinds of patterns. And then this one looks like it's watercolor patterns, but this one's generally red, generally green, generally blue. This one's kind of a series of motley colors, and this one is darker, but it's different colors and patterns. And I was thinking of trying to do something like that as a pop-up. So I made like a little, this is zine size, like one of those little zine size things. And it doesn't have any pop-ups in it yet, but I want to do pop-ups inside of it where it'll be like a pop-up zine. And each one, and it would only have 3. And then maybe we would do like a little storyline or something underneath. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. Like maybe it's a poem or something. I don't know. I haven't got a good handle on it yet. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, I think our orange is we're finally back. All right. I don't think I can do anything with that little orange blob that's on there. We're gonna have to just leave it there. Okay. I think one thing we should do is, since this is the darker layer, let's go with this lighter yellow, lighter orange yellow. And we'll kind of like fake in where we think the eyes. This is like Magikarp or something like that. Magikarp, splash, splash. Now, if this takes a long time, I can go ahead and I'll do a little demo on how to make a pop-up, the simplest kind of pop-up, because they're actually pretty easy to make for the simple ones. We're kind of blending this in here. It's too much paint. I think the way to go with him is just black eyes and black spots on the tail and stuff, rather than use a lot of white. Right. This is my black. Oops. I attempted to go blue, but I'm going to go with black. It's kind of at the end of the tail. Let's try it. Oh. This color is called Ponceau, which I don't know what that means at all. We're going to use it for like some dots. All right, finally. I'm just touching up the darker areas while the rest of it dries. Hopefully this is like light enough. layer that won't affect anything else. And then we'll get to the comics. I kind of think I want to do like some white highlights on the bubbles. Maybe that would be fun. Okay. Let's throw down some. I know my black is still wet. Hanso is still wet. All right, Finding Nemo. We'll go ahead and pull it and put it aside to dry. And I'll get back to my comics. By the way, in case you're the first time watching this, it's every Saturday from 6 till 8 Eastern, so we have about 45 minutes left where I'm going to be doing comics on the iPad. Oops. Probably be doing some screen tones, I'm guessing. And once again, the painting's not great, but the edges. Those are some sweet edges. All right, hold on. These edges be looking fine. All right. Let's put it somewhere to dry. Right there. Not spill the gouache. Don't spill the gouache. You came by Hasbro. Where can I put it? Right up here. Yeah, I can. Kathy Arbor, how are you doing? What was I using for paint? I was using a second ago Hemi gouache. Actually, I can show you. Um, have you seen the Hemi jelly gouache? This is what this is. I feel like everybody on the internet has this paint. I got it a couple of years ago, or maybe exactly. Hemi jelly gouache, and it's like student grade paint, but it's it comes in these little jelly cups. Maybe I'll show it to you. Paint on there. My thing. Okay, here we go. So this is Hemi jelly gouache, and it's these little like McDonald's, chicken nugget cups full of paint, and it's like a jelly consistency. And the problem with it is, of course, it dries out. Like it actually will. So some of it's even dried out. So what I do is you can spray it, which I have a spray bottle. Ooh, speaking of which, there's my spray bottle. But I also am afraid of it getting moldy, so I usually have to I boil the water and then I put a little bit of alcohol in the spray bottle. And you just kind of spray it a little bit. And then the other thing I do, I'm looking around for it. Oh. When I put it away, is I put this plastic bag over it. And this is all dry. And then I seal it up, and it's good. And I've actually had it for almost 2 years, and it hasn't become unusable. It has certain colors have dried out completely, and all I did is I would get some water. It's like boil some water, like in a tea kettle, and then I would kind of dropper it in. I dropper it in with a little pipette and stir it up a little bit with a piece of toothpick. And next day it was jelly again. So yeah, I do like it. It's not great paint. I will admit that. I mean, whenever you see like a real painter, like maybe like you're a real painter, do something. They're always like sometimes they'll demo the Hemi, but they always have like their real paints that they have that are much better. But I'm kind of a noob with with color in general. Like I didn't do anything in color for a really long time, and I wanted to learn it. So I thought this would be a fun way to do it because it's not like oil paint. Like oil paint is like serious, right? like if somebody's painting in oil, you're like that he's got a PhD or something, right? They're doing something serious. But no, it wasn't that good. That was thank you for saying so. Well, thank you very much. Well, I'll show you what's in. Tell you what, just because you. Let me show you. I just did a couple of things. There we go. Okay. So I also do oil pastels. That's the other thing. And oil pastels are fun because they're so quick. Or at least for me. There's a little dinosaur I did earlier. And then, which is Hemi gouache. And then this is oil pastel. Not very good. And then, hopefully, what's our little fella here? Great. We're gonna stick him in the book. And hopefully we'll remember how we did. Okay. I'll put him up here. Maybe I can put another picture in there too. Or draw around it or something. He's still just a little bit wet, like the little dots of color I put in there are not. Yeah, absolutely. Like I like a lot of stuff that people really don't like the gel crayons, like the gelatos. Do you mess with the gelatos? And let's see, what's the other ones that I like? The King Arts ones. The other one, I'm a big fan of those. Those are a lot of fun. I could show you what I've done, like mixed media on the other sketchbook. That's where I really started. No, I started with some of the small. I have these small, not the square ones, but they look a little bit like Moleskines, but they're not. They're where is it? Here it is. Hang on. Let's see if I have one nearby. I think this is one of my first, like, color. Like this is more like me drawing, right? So this is gouache. That's colored pencil. This is before I figured out how to do edges. So I just started with colored pencil as well. This is those King Arts gel crayon things. That's colored pencil. That's gouache. These are gouache. A lot of these aren't very good, I admit. Colored pencil. Ooh. Colored pencil. That's a gouache right there. This is not good paper for this. This is before I figured out how to, like, I'll just start pasting it in, right? So it isn't stuck in there. There's more dinosaurs. You can tell there's a theme going on here. This is oil pastel. And this oil pastel. And oil pastel, it's really hard for me because it's such an inaccurate, medium that I feel like I'm just drawing sky colors almost, and then you're hoping something will come out of it. So, but I'm just like kind of focusing on the colors. I know there's some more temps that are in here. I think that's a gouache too. But this is like, I think the second time that I started the second sketchbook, and it's just some of these little tiny ones. Like I got a deal on a bunch of them. All right. Anyway, but my real thing is comics. So this is the plan, was to start on this page, but I gotta do tones too. Or do I? Focus lines. This is what I'm looking for. But yeah, there's lots of tricks in oil pastel. I like the one I did today was I use Gamsol, the odorless mineral spirits, and I know there's impasto, like where you take and I even have my little palette knife, and you kind of paste it on there. Like you could do some really textural things in there. I haven't messed with that very much because most of the things that I do end up in the sketchbook that are not, like, in this case for comics, where they're planning on printing the comics. We hope. I hope anyways. But let me press one. Press two. No, that's good. Yeah. So Kathy says, "Love sketching too, and then comics would love the art." Yeah, absolutely. But you could do mixed media comics. There's a guy named Chris Runciman that's doing some great stuff I've seen. Where a lot of people seem to get stuck is they think, okay, well, I have to write a story first. So that is its own challenge too. Like you have to kind of tackle that at the same time somehow. noisy too. But at the core of everything is just drawing, just plain. Drawing. I love figure drawing. I don't know. I followed your channel originally because of your wonderful sketchbook walkthroughs. So glad you followed me back too. Not that I expected anything. Like when I follow people, I'm just following them. I'm always surprised if anyone. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I have this idea about doing some kind of pop-up zine for Etsy, which will have like little pop-ups. But once again, it's the storyline that's shutting me down. Like, because all the the easy ones have kind of all been done. Like, I could do a pop-up about pirates or something like that. There's so many pop-up books about pirates or fairy tales or dinosaurs or whatever. And yet, that's all I really want to do. Hang on. I gotta erase everything. But I'm so glad you dropped by, anyways. I take a lot of classes on those, like Skillshare and Domestica. I try to learn stuff now, especially interested in learning about soccer. Something I've always wished they could do. And I always thought, like, well, maybe if I like watercolor is kind of the thing for me. Until I found gouache, I thought watercolor was always a really good people, but I really enjoyed gouache. All right, I think we're going the right direction on this guy. That's the wrong nib, though. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I love about it too. I like the idea that there's, well, I think this is true of all art. That, whenever you're creating a piece, you're creating the story of that piece, even if it's a landscape, right? Or just a picture of like I did a pretty rudimentary jellyfish today. But to me, it's kind of its own story. I always try to imagine what we're seeing, and what the story of that is. And once you kind of pick up that mindset, that's when comics becomes a little bit easier. Anyways. I think that's why a lot of people get into comics or into just even art in general. When you see little kids trying to draw, and like if they're drawing a spaceship, they're making the sounds of the spaceship. You know. Um, that's pretty typical. I want to make them look like matter. So. Maybe like that. Now he looks mad. Here's his torso and his shoulders. You should give it a try on the comics, though. If you are interested in comics, for anyone else who's watching too, we have a Discord server where we're trying to organize comic stuff. We even have a comics anthology that we print. And the 10th volume, amazing that we're that far. The 10th volume is coming out very soon as we get the cover done. So all the entire interior is done with our print comic. And I think it's going to be, I think, around 80 pages. It might be a little bit less, like slightly less than 80 pages. Has 2, 3, 4, I think it's got 5 stories in it, this one. But we're about to announce the 11th volume. So this one is, no, am I getting this wrong? The 10th volume is the one that's about to come out. We're announcing the 11th volume and holding like a little vote to see if what people want to use as the theme, because all of the anthologies are themed. And I can't give you the link to the vote, but I can tell you what the choices are. Let me just open it up. Hang on. And I'll share it. So this is the winter anthology that we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen here in a second. So what you're seeing right here, this is the vote that we have, like where you are, which are you most interested or most inspired, and which are you least interested in creating for. And our stories are going to be Silver Age, which is in the style of Silver Age comics. That appeals to me. It has not yet appealed to a lot of other people. It could be any genre, 1956 or 1970. It's that look. It's that old school comics look. Weird Arcana, which is stories about magic, urban fantasy, horror, high adventure. I can tell you that this one is currently, I think, in the lead. 9-Volt Doorway to Oz, which are going to be stories that are inspired by Oz. Oz is public domain. It would be really cool to do an Oz book, I think. I have a couple of ideas for Oz stories, anyways. Toon Cavalcade, which is cartoons and funny animals. I would kind of fit my robot character Centaur into there. He's kind of a funny cartoon kind of character. But other types of things as well. Book of Ruin is pretty much in that realm as well. 9-Volt Underground, which is dungeon crawlers, underground environments, Muppet Labyrinth, Dark Crystal Caves, or Urban Punk City Underground. I think this would be very inspiring as well. And then a Public Domain remix, which is characters and comics featuring public domain stuff. And I can show you a bit of the results. This is a sneak peek. This is not a final. But of the most we've had so far, it looks like Weird Arcana is way up in the lead. And Underground is second place, followed very closely by Oz. So I'm super excited about Oz. So hopefully, I don't know if Oz will win, but if it does win, I'll be very happy. I'll be happy winning one of these. Definitely, Toon Cavalcade is it's in the last place. And then second to last is Silver Age. It was kind of surprising. Public Domain in fourth place. All right. Anyways. That's the plan. I could show you one of them. I think I have one nearby. I have to look around and search around me. I used to keep them close at hand. But we actually get it printed, and it's pretty cool. All in all. one over there. I think that's one. Hang on. Hold on, I'll show you one of them. So this one is Cosmic Unknown, which was, I think, our third one. This is kind of, the idea was magic plus science fiction mixed. And has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories in it. And it's about 100 pages. I have a couple of ones in here. That one's me, the first one. And then this one is, I want to say this is Jim Stanislavski. The second one. This one is Dale A. He's got a Minotaur, but it's in, I don't know. Some funny stuff. This is Jake Twister. This one is Ardenon Studios, I think. Yeah. This one's Sideburns right here. Junkosaurs. I think this one is Robin Taylor with Letters and Story by Evan Hill. I think this is another Ardenon Studio. Yeah. And another one by me with Evan Hill. I like the space scenes. Yeah, it is. That's what's fun about it. Kathy, it's really cool because so it's done print on demand. We don't like buy a print run of 1,000 or anything like that. This one, I think it cost around $8. And we get it from Lulu, so you can just get one copy if you wanted to. And it's more expensive than a regular book would be, probably. If you bought it at a store and it's a 100-page book, you know, it might cost $6, like $8. But you get your own copy, and that's what's cool about it. And it's not gonna, it doesn't break the bank. And we own all the copyrights. Like all the contributors maintain their own copyrights and creator rights and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. And it is really cool to have your own stuff on your shelf. We started doing this during the lockdown. Remember when the lockdown, when everything was kind of sucky and nobody could go outside and nobody knew what to do? That's when we started doing it. It was like, I got an idea. Let's do this, and it worked. You know, it was kind of surprising to me as well as to everybody else that it wasn't that hard. You know, figure out how to, like the PDF is done with Adobe. You know how to do it. And then the real tough part is because it's a bunch of different people. They when they turn their PDF, everybody's PDF tends to be a slightly different set of dimensions. No matter how much you put the standards out, like make sure it's this size. Like I want it this many inches by that many inches. You know, I don't. It's always a little off. You know, so you got to do all that validation of the file, the print file. And once you do that, so no, I don't think his arm is right. I'm looking at this. His forearm thing needs to be a little longer. It's like this. Yeah, like once you get it all kind of like put together, then it's really just a matter of submitting it to the. We use lulu.com. You can check them out. Actually, I'll show you. I can walk you through it because it's real easy. Hang on. Still have some minutes here. I'll go to lulu.com and show you. We do it at cost. Like we don't like put any profit margin in it at all, which pisses some people off because they want to make money off of this. But we're amateurs. I'm an amateur, and I'm the one who's doing most of the editing. So this is how it's going to be. Hang on. All right, share screen. Let me show you this. I don't know why more people don't do this because it's a lot of fun. Okay, this is Lulu.com. I knew them from academia and from doing like role-playing game stuff. And it's basically you create an account, you create a product, like you go over here and you sign in and you create a product. One of the products you can create, amongst the many, you can create an art book, a photo book, is a comic. And when you open up comics, over here, this is like a black and white comic. That's me. That's my comic. I'm being used as an example here. But yeah, 6.63 by 10.25 inches. And they give you a little template. You put all the stuff together and you submit it. And at the end of it, it comes out with a comic. And then, and it's got, and they have an online store, right? So it's like, let's say I go to Lulu and I search. Hold on. The 9-volt comics. Or actually, I'll just put my name in there. This is my real name. Here's Equid. And you can see these are all the comics I've done. So there's one there, one there, one there. This one I did back in 2011. It wasn't even a comic. This is from role-playing game stuff. This is Cosmic Unknown, which I just showed you. And you can look at the prices. You can see that. Okay, so Monsters was $8.75. It's just entirely based on the page count. This one's $5.82. This one's slightly smaller because it's the manga one. But hang on. So let's use this one as an example. You just add to cart, and you buy it. And it's 120 pages. That's how it goes. So you could do, like Kathy, you could do an art book. Like you don't have to do a comic, but you could do like an art book or a children's book. Or like I know your art style. You can do all kinds of stuff. We have the means of production, right, which is online stuff. But you're the actual artist and creator, and so you can actually, you could create a children's book. I'm really getting into making pop-ups now. Let me show you my pop-up because I showed it earlier. So this is I think my page is finally dry. So here's like a pop-up. My one idea is I had is like maybe I could figure out somehow to like make a pop up. This is my pop up right there. This is a twisting mechanism. Oops, there it is. Anyway, stop sharing. Definitely. Yeah, you would be really good at it, I bet. Anyway. Even if it's not a comic. The other thing is, we're doing anthologies, which we're getting hundreds of people, but hundreds of pages together, right? We're getting, and this latest one has 5 stories. The one I just showed you had 9 stories, something like that. We've done them with 3 stories or 4 stories or whatever. But you don't even need anybody else. Like you don't need anybody. Like the Adam Frankenstein one that I showed you, it's just me. So it's not a prohibitively huge amount of work. Because you're already doing the hard part is the creating, which is what you're already doing. And, if you wanted it to be commercial, it could be commercial. But if you didn't want it to be commercial, you just set the price per copy at 0 above printing cost, and it's just the printing cost, which could be, depending on how many pages it is, $6 to $8. You can do the same thing with Amazon now with KDP, which is the Kindle platform that they have. But the reason I haven't gone with Kindle is, first of all, I am considering doing it for a future project, but somebody was showing me their proof copies of stuff they got off of Kindle that I got it printed. For art, it doesn't look that great. This is the only thing. For like black and white art, which is what I do, it's not looking too hot. So if I felt a little bit more reassured, I think I might go with Kindle because it's much cheaper to do it even with Amazon, like way cheaper. All right, this is my bucket head guy getting smashed. I get so excited about the printing stuff. It's a lot of fun. They say print is dead. Everything's going to be AI now. But there's just something cool about making your own stuff. Even if nobody has it, you have something that you can give to your kids later. Yeah, I did publish a book. Like my grandfather on my mom's side wrote a book like in the 40s, like in the 1940s, and it's a book of ghost stories that he wrote and had it published. It was back in the 1940s, and it's in the Library of Congress, and they have like two copies, like at the library in Seneca, South Carolina, where this guy lives, and they were, and when they decided they were finally going to get rid of them because they were really old books, they gave them those became family heirlooms. So you should leave stuff. You should make stuff. Everyone should make stuff. All right, this guy's claw is going to be in front of his leg. I know people are sick of this song. Let me just switch the song. How about that one? Okay, it is 7:50. We have about 10 minutes left of the amazing, exciting drive-in set. This is supposed to be like a military craft section. This is his human arm here. I have to keep looking at this. He has one human arm and he has one like robot arm with a claw. Take the pencils back out. I almost want to do like a shadow, like a big core shadow, like right down here. Absolutely. Anyways, Kathy, I hope you do something. I will definitely buy a copy of it. I'm just blacking it out at this point. Hopefully it's not. Oops. Oops. It's too much. All right, we're going to do a sound effect now. And I'll show you my trick for sound effects. So I'm going to use the draft layer, I guess. Oh, the draft layer is going to suck for this. I'm going to have to use another layer. I'm going to use a different color. This is just to get a guideline. So it's going to be Klong, K-L-O-N-G, right? Exclamation point. The reason it goes on a different layer and a different color is because it's not in a good placement. It's too big. And then we can use our warp to make it more animated looking, I guess. And then we're going to just reduce the opacity of it. Go back to our ink layer. Let's make sure that we've got room for it. And then what we need to do, hang on, whoops. Let's use the ink layer. Oops. I'm still on purple. Go back to black. I think I'm too heavy on my line weights. Okay, you're probably still wondering, why is it a purple? It's because we're going to get rid of the purple, but we want to outline it first. Shoot. It's got to be legible, whatever we choose. Klong. And then by kind of drawing it real thick on there, we at least get our spacing right for the block letters. Let me just delete the thing over there. Yeah, we delete the other layer. Oops. Come on. Where am I? Drop the draft layer out. And then it's just a matter of making, in this case, we're doing like a drop shadow. You might also be wondering, why is there a little space? Why does it look so noisy? See my noisy line? Like it's not even a smooth line. That's done on purpose, so when this shrinks down, it'll look more warm and analog. All right, we're in our last 3 minutes of the show. We got through another one. Oops, you made it. In a sense. So I've got a tones layer already. I'm gonna start on some tones, but you may not see the end of them. I use Beat Tones Classic, 10%. And we're gonna do some shadow in the distance here. This is Beat Tones, so you can see that it goes behind the speech bubbles, but in front of the ink layer. And we're trying to show shadow or shade, like shadowing here. Like if you can see it. If you look on my channel, there is a demo of how to do it and which specific tones I use. This right here, this area. So the back wall is one tone, which is 10%. As things come forward, we want to go a little darker to show it's closer. So instead of 10%, I've got a 30% that I want to use there. So I'm going to use my 30%. And you can make, little smooth gradients with this if you're careful. I'm not that careful just yet. All right, well, I'm back to 10% here. All right, second thing is I want a halo around my figure. Just a little bit so you don't mess him up. He's coming out of the shadow, so we can have shadow down here, and shadow underneath here, and shadow back here, and over here, and over here. There we go. And we could even do like maybe a drop shadow behind them on the wall behind them. Because this guy's kind of jumping out from behind him. They're in a cave. But I'll just tell you, my key phrase in comics is simplicity. Try and go as simple as possible, because it'll get out of hand really quick. All right, here we go. Nice simple background. We can kind of touch that up too. The other thing is his chest plate is supposed to be a slightly different color. Hang on. I'm going to use the 30% to color the chest plate in. And this will be the print size, like right at about this size. And if it looks good there. You're newbie to Teledrawing? Yeah. So he probably knows about this stuff, right? I use Procreate. Do you use Procreate, or do you there's so many other choices now. I keep trying them out, but this is the one I got during the lockdown, and so I've just kind of gotten used to it. I'm going to do a little bit. Okay, I'm going to show you the shaders, and then that'll be it. All right, so this is my shaders. The shaders are much tighter. So instead of being, you can see that they're much tighter, but they're pressure sensitive. So if you bear down, they're really dark. But if you do it really light, it's really light. But we could use it for the shadow on the cave wall behind them. Oh, I think I screwed up though, because he's standing in front of her because of her wing, so his shadow cannot be that close to his leg. I mean, it can be that dark, but it has to be a little bit more ways away. All right. I think that is about enough for right now. I've already gone a bit past. So I'm on. I'm using StreamYard, so they ration your streaming time. So I'm about to end the broadcast. So thanks so much for everybody who's popped in. Thanks so much, Kathy, and thanks so much. Earlier in the stream, EJB Sideburns was on. Din too. Many pizza references. Appreciate y'all, for coming by. And I think that is probably it for right now. Okay. See you later.